Good afternoon. This is the Thurston County Board of County Commissioners. I'm for January 3rd, 2017. I'm Commissioner Bud Blake, and I am the chair of the board. I will be here shortly if everything goes right. First off, I'd like to do the introductions to the two new county commissioners, and to my left is Commissioner Gary Edwards, and he's going to tell us a little bit about him and how he arrived here at the county commission.
I'm a lifelong resident here of Thurston County, and I've served in the past as your sheriff, and thought I'd just take a run at seeing what I could do to help the citizens here in Thurston County. That's as short as I can make it. Thanks.
Yeah. And to my right is Commissioner John Hutchings, and he's going to introduce himself and tell you how he arrived here at the Thurston County.
John Hutchings, and I arrived here because of you folks, or people just like you. And I thank you very much for entrusting your form of government in my hands. And I'll do everything I can to preserve that honor and your trust, and asking myself continually, is this the proper form of government? Is this the role of government? So thank you very much. I appreciate you coming today.
And sure, as I mentioned, Bud Blake, Thurston County Commissioner District 3. And the one thing that you should know about this form of government is that we do mostly budget for the entire county, be it departmental or for the elected officials, the independent elected officials, and then we do all kind of policy from this diocese. So we look forward to serving you. We welcome open public discussion, and it's just going to be a great 2017. I'll continue on with the introductions. To Commissioner Hutchings' far right is Labanita Bomar. She is the clerk of the court. Clerk of the board, sorry. Yeah, it's different. And so she, to her right is the interim county manager, Ramiro Chavez. And to his right is the assistant county manager and budget officer, Robin Campbell. And to her right is Deputy Prosecuting Attorney Elizabeth Petrit. With that in mind, ask Commissioner Edwards to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance, and ask everybody to stand, please.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, with that in mind, I'll take a motion to approve the agenda.
Mr. Chair, I make a motion to approve the Tuesday's January 3rd, 2017 agenda.
And I'll second that.
It's been moved and second to approve the Tuesday, January 3rd, 2017 agenda. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. And I will take the accept the minutes for the board meeting minutes for December 16, 2016. Okay, so the next item I have is from the Commissioner's Office, and I'll ask the Interim County Manager, Ramiro Chavez, to give us some background and remarks on the as far as the next action.
Thank you, Commissioners. First of all, I'd like to welcome you as the new commission. It's some exciting times. It's waiting for all of us as a staff as well as the citizens in the county. So looking forward to working with you and for you. And really, as we move along, I think all of us are available to answer any particular questions that we have from the public, and we will make sure that we deliver those answers in a timely manner.
Sure.
Thank you.
All righty. So with that in mind, we have to kind of get one of the protocols as far as establishing the roles of this board and some other boards that we'll mention. So for the Board of County Commissioners, one can either self-nominate or have one of the other commissioners to nominate us as far as the chair position and the vice chair position, and obviously the third one is going to be what we call the commissioner's position. So with that in mind, is there a motion to, or a nomination to put one of us as the chair?
I'll make a motion. Go ahead, Commissioner.
Oh, well, there's a fight going on. Okay.
Mr. Chair, I move to nominate Commissioner Blake as chair and Commissioner Hutchings as vice chair for 2017 for the Board of County Commissioners.
I second that.
It's been moved and seconded to nominate Commissioner Blake as the chair and Commissioner Hutchings as the vice chair for the 2017 Board of County Commissioners. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. And then for the Board of Health, the Board of County Commissioners also wear a dual hat in terms of the Board of Health, and so we have to have a chair and a vice chair for that position, and then we also have a commissioner's position for that. And so with that in mind, I'll take a nomination or a motion to,
I'll make a motion that Commissioner Blake be the chair
okay,
and Commissioner Hutch be the vice chair.
okay. Is there a motion?
I'll make a motion for that.
Oh, okay, sure. Go ahead and read it then.
Oh. Well, we can see we've had a little miscommunication
That's
here
all right. No,
already.
no.
We didn't prep for this part. Okay.
You want me to do? I got my glasses
Yeah,
already
go
on.
ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead, Hutch.
Mr. Chair, I move to nominate Commissioner Blake and as chair and Commissioner Hutchings as vice chair for 2017 for the Board of Health.
I second that.
It's been moved and seconded to nominate Commissioner Blake as chair and Commissioner Hutchings as vice chair for the 2017 Board of Health. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. So the third board that we have to get out of the way for today's protocols is the Transportation Benefit District. And in that case, we have a president and a vice president for that position, and then we still have a commissioner for that. With that in mind, is there a nomination? Or a
Mr.
motion?
Chair?
Sure.
I move to nominate Commissioner Hutchings, as president and Commissioner Edwards as vice president of the Transportation Benefit District for 2017.
And I second that.
It's been moved and seconded to nominate Commissioner Hutchings as president and Commissioner Edwards as vice president of the Transportation Benefit District for 2017. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. So the next item we have on the agenda today is for the opportunity for the public to speak. And I have those who have signed in already, and I'll just go down there by have they've signed in. And so with that in mind, I'll call Mr. Glenn Morgan and have Labanita explain the protocols for speaking in public.
We start off with a green light that lasts for 2 minutes and 30 seconds. You will then see a yellow light for 30 seconds, and when you see the red, it means your time is up.
All right. Well, thank you. It is truly a pleasure to come and speak before this commission today. For the record, my name is Glenn Morgan. I live between Rochester and Tenino. And I think I've been coming here before the Thurston County Commissioners on a very regular basis since 2011. So it's about 5 years of regularly coming here and communicating. And with such a new commission who, and I'm so happy to have this new commission here now, I just had to make sure I was here to sign up first to speak, not with a big agenda today so much as just the opportunity to say I was the first one to speak in front of this commission at a public comment like this. So, and many people can appreciate that. You have a lot of work ahead of you, and I know that, and you do know that as well, and I think many of the people who live here in Thurston County are aware of that. I think perfection is impossible in the political process. We all know that. But if I could just leave on just one note at this point in time, that always remember in everything you do, and this comes back really to one of the first public comments I remember ever making in front of the Thurston County Commissioners, to put people first in the decisions that you make. And not to put pocket gophers or agendas or staff or even other types of considerations, but just remember there's people who are affected by every decision made by both this commission and the staff that you supervise, and those impacts have real impacts in those people's lives. And I know you know this because you guys have campaigned and talked to the people out there, but I think making that change on this county commission, I know I wrote down on my public comments that I wanted to address change. If we make that as a kind of underlying element that we look at with everything we do in Thurston County moving forward, that indeed will be a very welcome change. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you, sir. Thank you. All righty, so the next person I have is Mr. Larry Weaver.
For the record, I'm Larry Weaver, a lifelong resident of Rochester. Welcome back to 2017 season, Commissioner Blake, and welcome to the party, Commissioners Edwards and Hutchings. It's nice to see you on board.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I'd like to point out something I would appreciate granting some focus to amongst your many other duties, and in talking about the budget. Some of the budgeting duties that Commissioner Blake brought up. We have a tremendous infrastructure that the county has invested in the Grand Mound area, Exit 88. And I'll give you a couple of examples of some taxing issues down there. The property at 6312 197th pays $6,450 a year in taxes. That's a commercial piece of property. The property at 6232 198 would pay $16,150 a year in taxes. The property at 20500 Old 99 would pay $45,700 in taxes. However, those last two properties I mentioned are exempt. And the reason they're exempt is the fact that they have gone into a trust ownership with the Chehalis tribe. The more regulation, the more pocket gopher issues that we have to face with, the more oak tree, wetlands, mitigation fees that the private property owners around that interchange are faced with, the more likely those private properties are to be sold to an entity that don't have to deal with those type of issues and can develop. A good example is the under construction Marriott motel on Highway 12. That is exempt from property tax, has been exempt for the last 5 years, has been exempt to the tune of $48,500 in taxes that would otherwise come to the county. I encourage some attention be paid to streamlining the process for permitting, reducing the mitigation required for development around the Grand Mount interchange. We have a tremendous sewer and water infrastructure there, but we are handcuffed and prohibited from doing a lot of our development privately because of as I mentioned, the mitigation, the time. If we're quoted 2 to 3 years to even get past the pocket gopher issue, there's not a developer up and down the I-5 corridor who's going to take on that project. They will go to the tribe who has the property right next door and work with them, who have publicized on their website that they don't have to follow the same rules and regulations that the Thurston County residents have to follow when developing on those properties. I encourage you, I think this rises to an emergency level, to give some attention to this because every year that goes by, just last year, another property where the Red Barn and the grill and the Short Stop restaurant is established was sold to the tribe, another property that will be off the county taxing rolls. And so I encourage you to give grave attention to this matter. Thank you very much for
Thank
speaking
you,
and
sir.
welcome again.
Thank you so
Thank
much,
you.
sir. Mhm. So there was anybody else, even though I didn't have your name, wish to come to the, yeah, please, sir, come to and please state your name and where you're from, sort of.
My name is Dennis McVeigh. I'm a member of the City of Rainier Planning Commission.
Oh, great.
And I'd like to welcome our two newest commissioners and wish all three of you a Happy New Year. This is primarily informational for your sake. Next Tuesday at 7 p.m. at the regularly scheduled Rainier City Council meeting, by mayoral and council proclamation, we will become a Purple Heart City.
Oh,
Only the second one in Washington State. And the purpose is to honor the people who have given their lives or have been wounded in service to our country.
You bet. Can you repeat the day and time again, please?
Tuesday, 10 January, 7 p.m.
Okay, thank you so much. All righty, does anybody else in the public wish to come to the podium? Yes, sir, please. State your name and what part of the county you're from.
Gene Weaver from South County, Rochester, and representing the Rochester Chamber of Commerce. And I just would like to take the opportunity to congratulate all of you and to tell you that not only, everybody seems to think you need to help us, but we'll help you in any manner we can and support you. And please let us know anything we can do to help you to run the county in a very, how shall I say, smart manner. So,
You bet.
thank you.
Thank you
sir.
very much.
You bet. Yeah, sure. Anybody else from the audience like to come to the podium and speak? No? All right. Oh, yeah. Would you like to? Oh, no. Okay, sure. All right. So the next item we have on the agenda is the county manager's update.
Would you like to go through, Commissioner Blake, on what you've done in the last week? And then I'll walk you through the upcoming calendar.
No, let's go with what your county manager update is, and then I'll come back.
Okay. No, I don't have any specific updates
Okay,
today.
sure.
Thank you.
So we'll move to item number 3, and that's the consent items. And so I'll take a motion to approve the consent item.
Yeah, Mr. Chair, I move to accept the consent items A.
I'll second that.
There you go. It's been moved and second to accept consent item A. All those in favor say aye.
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 Motion passes. Okay, so for departmental items, what we typically do here is for county commissioners who've been out on the road or seen something they would like to speak about, and then have the county manager do an update of the calendar. And so is there anything particular you'd like to talk about and you've seen for the last week or so that you've been out before coming to the office? Mr. Edwards, Commissioner Edwards.
There's actually too many things to list at this particular meeting. We need a lot of help, and thank you, Mr. Weaver, for offering. We'll be in touch. Thanks.
I've been meeting with different various groups and people out in the community on some of the committees I'll be attending or been assigned to, or will be assigned to eventually. And there's a lot of work to be done, a lot to learn, and I'm looking forward to it.
Sure. And so while it's been a short week for the holidays, I was able to sit down with the executive director for Capital Land Trust and just kind of see where we're going to go ahead in terms of the 2017-2018 calendar, in terms of how they bring some environmental protection here as far as land trust and how it works economically, believe it or not. I think we have a good roadmap ahead, and then we'll come back and brief the public on what that looks like. Very exciting times for us to do that. And then also the intercity transit, I was able to meet with the general manager there. A lot of legislative stuff that they have on the agenda that I sit on that board and like to assist them in terms of getting funding for their capital projects, expanding their intercity transit buildings, and be able to help with some of the busing pieces there for the repair portion and the maintenance portion of that warehouse. So while those two items are the key things that I was able to do. With that in mind, I'll ask the county manager if he has anything for the calendar.
Yeah, I'm going to walk you through your master calendar for the next week. And again, those appointments are going to be stating are where at least 2 commissioners are going to be present. On your individual calendars, you may have specific appointments with some of your constituents or other different engagements. So beginning tomorrow, Wednesday, January 4th at 8:30, you have a briefing on the Habitat Conservation Plan. There will be an overview of what has been done here in the county. At 9:30, you will continue on with the Habitat Conservation Plan in terms of the financing of the plan itself. And at 10:30, I'm sorry, you will also relate to the Habitat Conservation Plan. You will hear some briefing related to an interim permitting process for potential gopher habitat areas. So tomorrow is going to be a long morning related to the Habitat Conservation Plan, as we call it, the HCP. Mm-hmm. At 11:15, you will have the opportunity to welcome new county employees at the Human Resources Conference Room. And that will be a great opportunity for you to introduce yourselves and welcoming, again, new employees to the county. 2 in the afternoon tomorrow, January the 4th, you have a briefing related to the Medic 1 levy proposal. Moving on to Thursday, January 5th, 9 in the morning, you will have the first of maybe a couple budget briefings. The intent of that briefing with Robin Campbell was to start walking you through all the different elements the county budget encompasses. And along the way, you will have many questions, and hopefully we're in the position to answer those questions.
That'll be riveting.
And at 10, you will have your regular commissioner check-in, and we have many items on that agenda. That agenda is published 24 hours in advance, and we'll still continue working on the specific items there. The rest of the afternoon, January 5th, nothing has been scheduled, but that could change for you. But we do have reserved some time for board briefings for you. 4 in the afternoon, January 5th, you have a Superior Court update. But for the most part, the presiding judge from Superior Court comes to you and addresses the board and give you a perspective and update as to what they have been doing and as of late. In this particular case, it will be a good introduction for the presiding judge to the new board. Moving on to Friday, January 6th. That day, for the most part, is slated the time reserved for the interjurisdictional staff and constituents meetings that you have. However, at 2:30 in the afternoon, Commissioner Blake and Commissioner Hutchins will be part of the Thurston Mason Behavioral Health Organization. Well, they would like to see the, I believe is the pre-agenda for the upcoming meeting. And moving on to next week, on Monday, January 9th, is nothing currently in your schedule. And then on January 10th, we'll come back here to do it all over again. Thank you.
Great. Any questions? Questions, comments? No? So I want to go back to being out last week on the road, as we say, is that I was also able to talk with a coalition for the syringe needle exchange, and that was actually a wonderful conversation to understand just the volume of needles that are being exchanged and just how we go about mitigating that either with treatment and or other alternative solutions. And I've not dwelled into that. It's really unfortunate that we have to even do that, but nonetheless, it helps in a lot of prevention areas such as HIVs and other transmitted diseases. So it's very controversial, but at the same time, it's needed in order to help out with our community as far as a community health issue. And then I'll turn to my left and right to my two seatmates that we were on the 28th of December. We were all at the swearing-in ceremony, right? And so that was a great event with Karen Frazier and Congressman Denny Heck, and just being able to see the whole crowd of people from the community be able to represent the justice system, the law and justice courts, commissioners and judges, and then of course these Commissioner Edwards and Commissioner Hutchins being sworn in. My hat goes off to the auditor, Mary Hall, did a fabulous stand-up job in terms of the performance and the outcome, and she does that every year, and it's spot on and really shows just the talent and love she has for the election side of her office. So any comments on that?
Well, I guess I'd just say one thing, that it was a real joy to see Sheriff John Snaza attend that function, and I believe he's in the office today, and looking forward to working with him and glad to have him back.
How about you, Ethan?
And I'd like to wish everybody a very happy New Year. And I'll tell you what, the view from right here is beautiful. It's beautiful.
Yeah. So, all right. With that in mind, unless there's really any other comments, a motion to adjourn.
Mr. Chair, I make a motion to adjourn the Board of County Commissioners meeting of January 3rd, 2017.
And I would second that.
It's been moved to second to adjourn the Board of County Commissioners for January 3rd, 2017. Thank you very much.